Everything you've been told about night shift is wrong. You've heard it all before. Night shift will destroy your health. You'll never see your family again. Your social life is basically over. Oh, and you're basically choosing an early grave, right? Wrong. I'm about to blow up everything you thought you knew about working nights. Because here's the truth. Most of what you believe about night shift is based on outdated studies, fear-mongering articles, and people who've never actually worked a single overnight shift in their lives. Today, we're separating fact from fiction, debunking the biggest myths about night work, and giving you the real science-backed truth. Whether you're already working nights, considering a night shift position, or just curious, this video might completely change how you think about the graveyard shift. Myth number 1. Night shift will ruin your health. Okay, let's tackle the elephant in the room. You've probably read those scary headlines. Night shift increases cancer risk by 50%. Or working nights cuts your lifespan. Terrifying stuff, right? Here's what those headlines don't tell you. Most of those studies looked at people working permanent night shifts for decades without proper sleep hygiene, nutrition, or recovery strategies. We're talking about workers in the 70s, 80s, and 90s who didn't have access to blackout curtains, blue light blocking technology, or any of the knowledge we have now about circadian rhythm management. The real science shows something completely different. A 2023 study from the University of Colorado found that when night shift workers implemented proper sleep protocols, light management, and nutritional timing, their health markers were nearly identical to day shift workers. Nearly identical. The truth? It's not the night shift that's dangerous. It's poor sleep quality, inadequate recovery, and lack of knowledge about how to work with your body's natural rhythms. Think about it like this. If I told you that driving a car increases your risk of death, you wouldn't be shocked. But we don't avoid cars. We learn how to drive safely. Night shift is the same. The risk isn't in working nights. It's in working nights without the right strategies. And here's something they never mention. Day shift workers who sleep poorly have almost the same health risks as night shift workers. The common denominator isn't when you work, it's how well you sleep and recover. Myth number 2, you'll never get quality sleep again. Let me guess. Someone told you that sleeping during the day is impossible, or that you'll always feel like a zombie because humans aren't meant to sleep during daylight hours. Here's the reality check. Your body doesn't actually know what time it is. Seriously, your circadian rhythm isn't controlled by a clock on the wall. It's controlled by light exposure and consistency. Astronauts on the International Space Station experience 16 sunrises and sunsets every 24 hours, yet they maintain healthy sleep patterns. How? Through controlled light exposure, blackout conditions during sleep periods, and consistent routines. You can achieve the same thing. The problem isn't that daytime sleep is impossible. The problem is that most people don't set themselves up for success. They try to sleep with light seeping through thin curtains, their phone buzzing every 10 minutes, and their family treating their bedroom like a public space because it's daytime. Studies show that with proper sleep environment optimization, blackout conditions, white noise, and consistent sleep schedules, night shift workers can achieve the same sleep quality as day workers. I'm talking about the same REM cycles, the same deep sleep stages, everything. The key is treating your daytime sleep with the same respect that day workers treat their nighttime sleep. That means a dark room, cool temperature, minimal noise, and boundaries with the people around you. Myth number 3. Night shift causes weight gain. Yes, some night shift workers gain weight. But guess what? So do day shift workers. The world has an obesity rate of over 40%, and most of those people work day shifts. The difference isn't the shift, it's the habits. Night shift workers often gain weight because of 3 specific reasons: irregular meal timing, reliance on convenience foods during shifts, and disrupted hunger hormones from poor sleep. But all 3 of these are completely manageable. Research from the Journal of Occupational Health showed that night shift workers who meal prepped, ate at consistent times relative to their sleep schedule, and prioritized protein and fiber maintained healthy weights just as easily as day workers. Your body doesn't care if you eat breakfast at 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. It cares about consistency, nutrition quality, and total caloric balance. Myth number 4, your social life is dead. You'll never see your friends again. Say goodbye to your relationship. You'll miss every birthday, wedding, and holiday forever. Can we just stop with the dramatics? Yes, working nights requires adjustment. But acting like you're moving to another planet is ridiculous. You're changing your schedule, not entering witness protection. Here's what actually happens. Your social life doesn't end, it evolves. And honestly, for a lot of people, it gets better. Think about it. While everyone else is fighting crowds at restaurants on Friday night, you can go out on Tuesday afternoon when everywhere is empty. Want to catch a movie? Matinee prices? Need to run errands? No lines. Doctor's appointment? Pick any time slot you want. And let's talk about relationships. Yes, you'll have different awake hours than a day shift partner initially. But couples manage different schedules all the time, with travel, different jobs, kids. The ones who struggle are the ones who don't communicate and plan intentionally. Many night shift workers actually report stronger relationships because they're forced to be more intentional with their quality time. No more mindlessly sitting on the couch every evening. When you're together, you're present. The night shift community is also massive and incredibly supportive. You're not alone in this. There are thousands of night workers building friendships, forming groups, and creating social networks around their schedules. Your social circle shifts. It doesn't disappear. Myth number 5, you'll miss out on your kids' lives. This one hits hard, so let's address it properly. The assumption is that if you work nights, you'll never see your kids. You'll miss soccer games, school plays, bedtime stories, everything. But let's do the math. Most day shift parents leave before their kids wake up and get home right before dinner, exhausted. They get maybe 2 hours of quality time before bedtime routines start. On night shift, you can be there for the morning routine, drop off at school, pick up, afternoon activities, homework time, and dinner. You're there for more of the day than most day shift parents. Yes, you miss bedtime, but you're there for everything else. And here's something beautiful that day shift parents don't get. When you work nights, you can attend every single school event, every recital, every game, every parent-teacher conference, because they all happen during the day when you're already awake. I've talked to countless night shift parents who say they see their kids more than their day shift counterparts. The difference is being strategic about sleep timing and protecting family hours. Myth number 8, you can't be productive at night. There's this assumption that working at night means you're operating at half capacity, struggling to stay awake, barely functional. But here's what the research actually shows. Once adapted, night shift workers demonstrate the same cognitive performance, decision-making ability, and productivity levels as day shift workers. The adaptation period is key, usually 2 to 4 weeks of consistency. In fact, many night shift workers report being more productive because there are fewer interruptions, less office politics, fewer meetings, and a quieter work environment. Ask any developer, writer, or creative professional. Many of them choose to work at night specifically because it's when they do their best work. The issue isn't that nights are inherently less productive. The issue is inadequate lighting in work environments, poor nutrition strategies, and inconsistent sleep schedules that prevent full adaptation. Companies that invest in proper lighting, understand circadian science, and support their night workers see the same output and quality from night shifts as day shifts. This isn't theory, it's documented in manufacturing, healthcare, and service industries worldwide. Myth number 9, you'll always feel tired. You'll be exhausted all the time. That's the warning everyone gives. But fatigue on night shift isn't inevitable. It's a symptom of mismanagement, not a requirement of the schedule. The workers who feel chronically tired are typically the ones who aren't sleeping enough, aren't sleeping at consistent times, aren't managing light exposure, or aren't fueling their bodies properly. When you address those factors, the fatigue disappears. Think about how day shift workers function. They wake up, get light exposure, fuel their body, work, maintain alertness through proper breaks and nutrition, then wind down and sleep in darkness. Night shift is the exact same process, just shifted. The difference is that night shift requires you to be more intentional. You can't rely on the sun to wake you up or societal norms to structure your day. You have to take ownership of your routine. When night shift workers implement proper protocols, strategic caffeine use in the first half of their shift, light therapy, quality sleep environments, and nutritional timing, they report energy levels equal to or better than their day shift days. So what's the actual truth about working nights? It's this: night shift isn't inherently good or bad, it's different. And different requires strategy. The night shift workers who struggle are the ones who treat it like day shift in reverse without making any adjustments. The ones who try to sleep in bright rooms, eat inconsistently, flip their schedule every weekend, and don't set boundaries with family and friends. The night shift workers who thrive are the ones who educate themselves, implement proven strategies, and build their lives intentionally around their schedule. They use blackout curtains and sleep masks. They time their meals strategically. They communicate boundaries. They connect with other night workers. They advocate for themselves. Working nights isn't a sacrifice or a punishment. For many people, it's a choice that offers better pay, more autonomy, less traffic, more time with family, and a lifestyle that actually fits them better than the traditional 9 to 5. The myths exist because people love simple narratives. Night shift is bad is easier than night shift requires specific strategies to optimize. But you're not looking for easy answers. You're looking for the truth. And the truth is that with the right knowledge and approach, night shift can be just as healthy, fulfilling, and sustainable as any other work schedule. If you want real strategies, a supportive community, and expert guidance on thriving during night shift, head over to nightshiftershub.com right now. We've got resources, tips, and everything you need to master the night. Join our Telegram community, Night Shifters Hub, where thousands of night workers share experiences, strategies, and support 24/7. Because we're always awake when you are. And subscribe to this channel for more myth-busting, real talk, and actionable advice for night shift workers. Stop believing the myths. Start living your best night shift life.